How do we send emails that actually sign clients? That is the topic for this video, and I want to create this video because it's one that I've not done in a long time, email outreach and whatnot. And there's a really big shift that you ought to make to how you send your emails, to the approach that you take within your emails for you to see any results in the current landscape. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, Kai, is SMMA too saturated now to join? No, not in the slightest, right? I personally think right now is actually the most prosperous time to build an SMMA. However, the old way of operating is no longer going to get you to where you want to go with your agency. It's just not. There is too many. The old way of operating is saturated. The agency business model isn't saturated. The agency business model has been here for, I don't want to say a number because I'll probably get ripped in the comments, right? It's not, I don't know if it's 100 years, but it's been here a long, long time, right? It probably has, well, it definitely has been 100 years at least, right? So it's not going anywhere, but the way in which you operate ought to change. And so when it comes to email outreach, you need to first understand that number one, well, the biggest thing really, it's not number one, it's the biggest thing, is that the prospects you're reaching out to are getting hit up hundreds and hundreds of times a week and tens, maybe even hundreds of times a day, depending on how big the brand is. So they're receiving all these emails from other agencies, and here's the issue. It's not the fact that they're receiving emails from other agencies. The issue is the fact that they're receiving emails from other agencies and every single agency is offering the same thing. They're pitching it in the same way and they're speaking to the same problems. It's so, like that approach now is so saturated. And so if you continue down that path, you're not gonna sign any clients, you're not gonna scale your agency to any 10, 20K a month. It just isn't gonna work anymore. If you go back on my channel and you look at, my old email outreach videos where I was saying about X, Y, and Z approach, whatever it may be, a year and a half, 2 years ago, it worked a year and a half, 2 years ago. If you action on those videos now, today, it's not gonna work. And so that's why I wanted to create this video for you today. So let's jump into it. What are you gonna do? How do you combat this huge issue? Well, there's one overarching idea. And if you change this one overarching idea, I promise you, I can near enough guarantee you that you will see an increase in your client acquisition rates, your meeting book rates, and overall, you'll just sign more clients through emails. What is the issue? The issue is this. Everybody sending emails is offering the same thing as I mentioned before. Everybody sending emails is reaching out to these brands, to these clients, or just the prospects overall, and they're saying the same thing. They're saying, we can run your Facebook ads. And so it's that you need to change. Let me speak about this because this is like the biggest thing. When you're running, when you're running ads for clients and you're trying to get ads on any platform, Facebook, Google, whatever, it's never the buttons that you hit in the back end that's gonna change the results. What's gonna impact results is the offer and the product, right? That's why you're able to see, or that's why you do see such big discrepancies. If you currently run an agency right now, you got 5 clients, each one of those clients, they're not gonna have similar results. It's not like you run ads for like 5 different clients and every single client is at a 4 ROAS, unless you just some sort of unicorn situation. Most of the time, they're gonna have different results. Some clients you may be struggling, or another client you may be getting a 10 ROAS, another client you're getting a 2 ROAS, another client you're getting a 5 ROAS, right? The difference from client to client is the product, and by virtue of the product, it's the industry. That has the biggest impact on your ad results and the offer that's associated around the product. There's no different in your email outreach. There's no different. Your offer will have the biggest impact on the results that you're able to see with your emails that you're sending out to try and sign clients. And so, as I said before, most agencies are reaching out to these brands and they're saying, hey, we can run your Facebook ads, right? Hey, we can add an extra 100,000 a month to your bottom line. Hey, we can, scale you up, scale your current ad results, or we can, take you to the next level. Like that is another one that's been just so lost so much weight now, right? Like we can scale your business to the next level. Hey, you struggling to get to the next level? We can run Facebook ads and get you there. And so that is what you've got to change. You've got to change your offer. Now, how do you change your offer? What should you change your offer to? What do you change from? What do you change to? Right? How do I ensure that I don't change my offer from something that doesn't work to something else that doesn't work? How do I do that? Well, here's what you ought to do. If you're a beginner, this is going to actually benefit you more. If you're just starting out with your agency, this is actually going to benefit you more. If you've currently got a few clients, don't worry, because it's still going to be applicable. But if you're a beginner, you're going to benefit from this more, because if you're a beginner, you're a lot more agile than an agency who's got 10, 15, 20 clients, even 5 clients, right? 5 clients, 2 clients, 3 clients. You're still very, very agile, but you're not going to be as agile as somebody who has no clients, right? So for me right now, you've actually got an upper hand. And the reason I say that is because you can swap and change your service as you like, right? And when it comes to your offer, I truly believe the biggest and the most prosperous way for you to scale your agency moving forward is to potentially offer a different service, is what I'm trying to get at. Email marketing, Google ads, TikTok ads, Snapchat ads. If you're able to build an agency around one of these different services, because again, remember, an agent, like, people have it so wrong in the SMMA space. Everybody thinks of an SMMA, right, as a Facebook ad agency. And yes, technically a social media marketing agency. Yes, you can't do emails and say you've got an SMMA, but forget the phrase SMMA. Just think of it as an agency. An agency is a service-based business. You can offer any service and you still run an agency. And so you can go out and run TikTok. You know, you can have a TikTok agency, you can have a Facebook ads agency, you can have a Snapchat agency, you can have an email marketing agency, you can have a Google ads agency, you can have an Instagram agency, right? There is so many different types of agencies, and people, especially if you're just starting out, you feel almost obligated to run Facebook ads. And I say that with confidence because that's how I felt. I didn't even think about any other service other than Facebook ads when I was starting out, because it just didn't cross my mind, because everybody was saying about Facebook ads and I was like, oh yeah, okay, let me just run Facebook ads as well. And I'm not regretful of that decision, but I also got into SMMA at a time where it wasn't as big as it is now. Now, if you're starting out, don't take that the wrong way. As I said before, I think right now is the most prosperous time to get into SMMA and scale up. We have customers do it inside of the first 30 days. They go from 0 to, 8,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 15,000 a month inside of their first 30 days. Like, it's unbelievable, right? So it's the most prosperous time, but you just need to go about things in a different way. And one of the biggest things that you can do that's going to impact your results is offer a different service. For example, email marketing. I mean, right now as well, the other good thing that you've got on your side, like all of the, there's some issues right now in the space. You've got iOS 14 being the biggest, right? People are like, oh my God, the agency business model is over because, iOS 14 is killing tracking and whatever else they're saying. And yeah, it's an issue, but you can use that to your advantage. For example, if you was to go into the email marketing space, you could then basically you could throw a bunch of shade at Facebook advertisers, because Facebook doesn't work anymore. It does, but you can, kind of push it in this way. The idea of it does still work, but it's a lot harder to make work now, I will be very honest. But obviously, if you've got the right strategies to combat it, it's still easy, but you've got to change your approach and all that type of stuff. So you could just say, Facebook is kind of going down the drain, right? It's very, very difficult to scale on Facebook now due to iOS 14. That's why we triple down in email marketing, because, look, we've got a bunch of clients here where we've got this results with email marketing. It's the way forward. Owning the traffic that you generate, instead of relying on external sources like the Facebook Pixel and the Google Tag Manager and whatnot. Why don't you just own that traffic, and then you've got no issue about anybody taking away your ability to target those customers, those prospects or potential customers, right? Just own it. And that's what you do with emails, and that's why we triple down in you, right? That pitch is so much more effective than a pitch of, hey, we'll run your Facebook ads. Because the thing, and the reason it's so much more effective is because pitches like email marketing, Google ads, TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, etc., it's seen as a new opportunity and it's seen as unique. And that's the true key to getting your emails to work effectively and to sign clients through email outreach. That's the true key. It's kind of going full circle back to the topic of this video. How do you sign more clients through emails? That's it. You create and you present this new way, this unique way of scaling, of getting to wherever it is that you want to go. But it's by virtue of a unique opportunity that you are presenting to them. And if you do it well, you can present it in a way that it's also scarce, right? So you can say, obviously I wouldn't say this in the initial email, but you can start to slowly but surely imply the idea if you've only got a certain amount of spots, this, that, whatever, on your client roster. And so you can't bring on too many clients. However, this new unique way of scaling your business is like the number one way to do it. Here's a bunch of results to back it up. That's seen as way more attractive than the typical pitch that they get pitched to hundreds of times a week, right? I can guarantee the number one way for you to not sign clients, and for most of you watching this video, I'm just gonna be very blunt, it's probably the reason why you're not signing clients through emails and you're struggling to scale your agency. It's because you're pitching in the exact same way all these other agencies are. And I'll be very transparent. There is more agencies than ever right now, right? Or at least aspiring agencies, right? You can't really say you got an agency if you don't have any clients, right? But there's people trying to get clients. There's more people trying to get clients now than ever. I will say that. It's not saturated, there's a difference. There's just more competition, which doesn't necessarily mean it's saturated, because you can still massively win. You just have to go about certain things in a different way, hence this video. And the other thing as well is, most brands out there have tried Facebook ads, right? They've tried it. So again, when they see the Facebook ads, they're like, oh yeah, we've tried it. And then you don't even get an at bat with them. You don't even get a chance to sell them, because as soon as they see Facebook ads, as soon as they see whatever, they're like, oh yeah, we've already tried it, doesn't work. Or yeah, we're already running ads. That's another objection, right? Oh yeah, we're already running ads, right? And so it's not seen as unique. It's just seen as this like kind of thing that you just like almost beating a dead horse. Yes, Facebook ads don't work. And then you get another email. Yes, we've tried Facebook ads, it doesn't work. And then they get your email pitching Facebook ads again, and they're like, yeah, well, you just got no chance, right? Now, an example of this, how this actually works out, plays out in real life. Let me give you an example. I signed an agency around whatever ago, 3-4 weeks ago, something like that, right? And it's an agency, first things first, it is an agency, but their service is tremendously different. And this is the reason why I signed them on board. There's 2 reasons. Number one, they had results to show. So that's the biggest thing, right? If you're gonna offer this new opportunity, if you're gonna offer this new, like unique way of scaling, getting more sales or getting more leads for the clients or whatever it may be, right? Whatever it is that their end goal is, if you've got a new mechanism, a new opportunity, a unique way to actually get them more leads, get them more sales, you must make sure that you have proof to back up your claims. Because if you come to me or to anyone and say, hey, I've got this super unique thing, I've not tested it for anyone. I don't know if it really works, but it's really unique. But it's like, yeah, anybody can come up with a unique mechanism, right? It's like, oh, if you smash, I've got a glass on my table, right? If you smash glasses on the floor, you'll scale your brand. That's unique, but it doesn't work. So you need to make sure that you back up what your unique mechanism is with cold hard results. So this new agency that I signed had the results to show me, and they have a unique way of actually going about delivering the service. So the service is, they're basically, it's actually quite hard to explain. It's like an agency that does Instagram growth, but it kind of doubles as an influencer marketing agency as well, because they basically go out to their network of like these huge Instagram pages. They put posts up on those pages that of me, they tag me, and then, it kind of grows my following on Instagram organically. And it's obviously real people, and it actually then serves a purpose, because then those real people can become customers. It's more for the education side, not so much for it's not for the agency side at all. It's more for the education side. So then there's like a direct ROI, right? And they also do a lot of content creation as well for me on my Instagram page and whatnot. That is a service that I've not seen anybody else do. At least I've not been pitched that, right? There's probably, there would be other agencies out there doing the same thing, but I've not been personally pitched that. So when I got pitched it, I was like, okay, interesting. This is a unique way of going about growing your Instagram. And growing an Instagram, growing a following is something that I'm actively wanting to do. And so it was, it tied into my desires. And this desire is, synonymous with an e-commerce brand wanting to go from 50,000 a month to 150,000 a month, right? It's the same thing. It's just a different end goal. It's just a different desire. But the service can actually get me to that desire because there's proof, and I could see that there's proof, right? And so it's the same idea with your whatever service you want to offer, right? And then because it's a unique opportunity, it piques curiosity. And whenever curiosity is piqued, usually the prospect, the potential customer will take the next step. Again, this ties back to actually running ads for anyone, right? The main goal of running ads is to pique curiosity by virtue of the ad, and then that curiosity gets the prospect to take the next step. The next step is to get the click. And it's the same thing with emails. And it's the same thing with getting more book calls for your agency, and by virtue of getting more book calls, getting more clients, at the end of the day. And so by piquing that curiosity, you'll get the book call because they're curious. Like, okay, cool. I can see it works. It's it's something different, right? That's the biggest thing that you need especially with emails, because they get pitched the same thing over and over and over again, right? So you need that uniqueness to your offer, and then that will get them to book in the call. Then on the call, you can go through your sales call process, and then you've got a far better chance of signing a client, because then you're actually getting at bats. Beforehand, maybe up until you're watching this video, you've not even had that many sales calls. So it's physically impossible for you to sign clients without sales calls. So you don't even get a chance of pitching pitching what you've got, right? Because if people just see your initial offer and they're just like, oh no, it's the same thing that everybody else is saying, right? The offer is like the shop front. If nobody's coming into the shop front, it doesn't matter what, if nobody's coming into the shop, it doesn't matter what's inside the shop, they're not gonna get any sales. The shop front is what matters because that gets people in the door. And then once they're in the door, then you got an at bat of selling them whatever it is, or you got an at bat of selling them whatever it is that you have to offer. But the offer gets them in the door, right? That's what gets them in. And so you need to apply the same idea to your emails. Okay, so it's not really a matter, you probably clicked on this video for me to say, hey, in the first line, you need to say this. The second line, you need to say that. Follow-up email number 1, you need to say this. Follow-up email number 2, you need to say that. It's not a matter of that because you could say whatever you want, but if you don't pique their curiosity by virtue of what you're actually offering, right? Because that's the key. You could say all this crazy stuff in the email, but that's all filler content. What the prospect actually cares about is what are they getting, right? What's the meat of this email? Why are you reaching out to me? Right? Because we can be very, as I say, very, very creative in our, for example, a personalized line. You could do a lot of research, right? You could do a lot of research and say this crazy stuff that nobody else has ever mentioned to the brand before. And they're like, oh my God, how do you know that? That's awesome. Like whatever, right? I deeply appreciate you doing the research. But that's as far as that personalized line is going to take you, unless then the offer hooks them and intrigues them. That's what they'll book in a call for. They're not going to book in a call because you did a different personalized line than the next person. It's got nothing to do with that. It's the offer. So now you're probably thinking, I need to address this because now you're probably thinking, oh, so I shouldn't run Facebook ads anymore. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, we're still running Facebook ads, right? And I've got a bunch of customers who are running Facebook ads and they're all crushing it, right? And so are we with Facebook ads. So if you do want to run Facebook ads, you need to still apply these same ideas to your Facebook ad offer. Right, and maybe this sounds like I'm kind of going back on myself because I'm saying like don't run Facebook don't do a typical offer, do email marketing, do Google ads. Maybe that's a bit of a fault on my end. I didn't explain it too well. I'm not saying don't do Facebook ads. I'm just saying if you're starting out, don't feel as though number one that you have to go down the Facebook ad route because there is a myriad of other services that you can offer that are all tremendously powerful services that you can offer. For example, bit of insider info, I'm looking into now going into Google ads as well as Facebook ads, but also going heavy into Google ads, right? But if you're just starting out, email marketing is a great one. TikTok is very much up and coming. Snapchat, I know personally, I know agency owners who are crushing it on Snapchat, right? Google is insane. So I just want you to know that Facebook ads isn't the only option. Now, if you are an agency owner and you're wanting to run Facebook ads for whatever reason, or you currently have 5-6 clients who you're running Facebook ads for and you've got a really good system for it, that's awesome. We're the same, right? We have a good Facebook ad system and it works, right? So if you do want to go down that route, it's fine. But there's 3 things that you need to make sure that your offer has, whether it's Facebook ads, email marketing, whatever. Number 1, it has to be unique. Even if the actual thing, in this case, the service, isn't unique, so Facebook ads is not unique, unlike TikTok ads, that's more unique than Facebook is, you need to make what it is that you're actually offering more unique. And I'll explain how that kind of works out in a real life situation here in a minute, right? But the first thing is around your offer, it needs to be unique. Next thing is that it needs to be seen as a new opportunity. Because if it's the exact same opportunity that they, because most, especially in the e-commerce space, which is where I operate in, 95% of my customers operate in as well as the e-commerce niche, a lot of e-commerce brands have worked with Facebook ad agencies in the past. Right? And so if you go to a brand, and that brand has already worked with another agency and it didn't work out, which is like 90% of their experiences, they've worked with other agencies and it's just not worked, right? They've not generated or they've not delivered on their promises and all that type of stuff. Then you go to that brand and you offer them the same opportunity that previous failed agency offered them. They're not going to move forward with you again, right? Because it's the same opportunity. And so by virtue of it seeming as though it's the same opportunity, it may not be, but the way it's perceived, it's the same opportunity, they're naturally going to think that it's going to be the same outcome, right? So it has to be seen as a new opportunity. And the third thing is it has to be irresistible. That you really do, again, especially in this climate with all of these agency owners popping up, you have to make your offer irresistible, because there's other agencies now that are really kind of jumping onto this idea of guarantees and really just completely eliminating the downside. And so if 2 agencies go to one prospect, one of them guarantees results, the other doesn't, unless the other has like tremendously powerful track record, unbelievable case studies, whereas the one who guarantees results doesn't. Given that everything else is on the kind of the same level, the one that has the guarantee is going to win every single day because the prospect physically cannot lose, right? So it has to be unique, has to be seen as a new opportunity, and it has to have, or it has to be an irresistible offer. Most of the time when you make it an irresistible offer, the two things that make an offer irresistible for the most part is guarantee, no downside, and the value far exceeds the price. That pretty much, in so many words, is an irresistible offer, right? So that's it. And so it's not that you can't run Facebook ads, it's just that you have to make sure that the offer that you're stating and the way in which you're positioning your service has those three things. And that is genuinely how you can then become a lot more effective and sign a lot more clients through your emails. It's more than just the first few lines anymore, guys. Like, it's more than just the framework or the structure of the email or the follow-up email number 2 and what you send in number 3, and it's more than that, right? Because all that stuff could be really on point, but if the offer, if your actual service offering doesn't pique curiosity, that you're not going to get book calls. It's just as simple as that, right? It really is. So, maybe this is a video that you didn't like because maybe you were looking for like the step-by-step email word-for-word script, but I wanted to give you the truth. Maybe I apologize if the thumbnail, the title was a little bit clickbaity and you thought it was going to be the step-by-step script or whatever it may be, but this is genuinely, like, this is the thing that's actually going to change your results, whether you like it or not, right? Which is why I wanted to give it to you. So again, if you did find this video useful, you found it valuable, all I ask in return is that you just go ahead, smash the like button. If you thought it was the worst video you've ever watched, smash the dislike button as well, right? And we'll throw down dislikes as well. And also comment your thoughts down below on what videos you would like to see next. Give me some video ideas and I will get to making them for you. But with that being said, I deeply hope you found value and I will see you in the next one.